Hello everyone, this is Kroot, and this is my starter tutorial on how to create BDCraft textures using templates. Before we begin, it should be noted that this tutorial will follow along using Paint.net as the art program for explanations. There are three main reasons this was the program chosen. First, I personally have experience within the program, meaning I can more easily troubleshoot issues that you and other users may have. Second, the UI is quite intuitive for new users, making it hard to get lost when following along or learning new tools within the program. Lastly, the program contains every tool that a user could need when making these textures. The first step, of course, is going to be finding which block we're going to be spaxifying. Walking up here, a good example of a block that might have a template would be the log block. Again, another good texture, bricks, but for our example, we're going to go over here to the fountain block. On the top, you can see these tiles, and that's what we're going to do. Once you have decided on a block, what you need to do is go to, in our Discord, go to the tutorials channel, and click the second link at the top of the channel. Once you click on the link, it should bring you to this page with useful resources for spaxifying. If you scroll down towards the bottom, you should find these various show icons with labels to what type of templates are under them. Considering we're using a block and we're doing the tile, what I'd do is I'd come down here and I'd likely choose the chiseled stone brick or stone blocks texture. A second method for using a template is, of course, instead of going to the tutorial channel, once we have more people who want to share their PSD files or PDN files with templates, you can check out the template sharing channel, and there'll likely be, other templates here that you can download that may fit your build better than the provided ones from PureBDCraft. Now that you have downloaded a template, we will move on to Paint.net. As you can see, my version might be older than yours. Doesn't matter, they barely change anything in this old program. First thing you want to do, of course, is open your template. If you followed the installation instructions that I had provided in the Discord, you should be able to go to File, Open, and it should be in your Downloads folder. It's not in mine, since, I've already downloaded it before. And you will open the PSD file that you downloaded from the BDCraft site earlier. Upon opening, you should be greeted with this. Mind the, cut that's about to happen here. Now, I've cut here so I could move our program over on the video, because you won't really need the tools that were on the other side here if you're using templates. Using templates, what you want to worry about are these four buttons here. If I toggle them, you'll probably see what they do really quickly, but they control whether you have your colors, your layers, which are going to be really important, and your history. That you can click on this basically, and you can just, undo or redo things as needed. So, what we're going to worry about mostly when using a template is the layers. As you can see, there's multiple layers, and you might be thinking, oh my god, what am I going to do here? Ignore them. You see a blank layer like this, just press the X icon, and for the most part, just go about deleting any blank layers that you won't need to start off with. They don't do anything, because obviously they're blank, so why keep them around? Now that you've deleted all of the blank layers, you should be left with, the layers that actually have important bits on them that you can use when using the template. Notice how your history now also has the layers that you can... a history. You can go back through, you can click it, you can undo what you've done or redo. Now, first, what we're going to do is try and figure out what each of these layers do so you know what to recolor so you can make it match the block you're trying to replace. Obviously, this one seems simple enough. Highlights are going to be the highlights on the block. We can press this wrench icon right here to observe exactly what this layer is doing. In this case, it's a normal layer, but it's transparent. As you can see, with sliding this transparency slider, you can get a better look at what color it actually is, and how that transparency affects it. Same thing happens here. This layer, it's off, but we can see it's an uncolored version of the brick underneath, and as a result of that, we don't need it. Same thing here. Again, this looks like we already have a brick underneath, so we can get rid of it, not worry about it. Here, same thing. Here, the same thing. Then we've got all of these gray tiles. Your template might have something different. It might not even have all these. It might just have a few tiles. But the same kind of base thing exists, where you can look at it, try and figure out what it's doing. So these tiles are actually darkening the bricks. And we can tell, because as you can see in the preview, this is a gray tile. But instead of a normal, which would usually override it, it has a multiply. And basically what that does is put that color onto the existing color. Since these blue squares are our colors, these are multiplying dark to make it darker. Something like that is complicated, and likely when you're making textures, you don't want to worry about anything like that. So what we're going to do is instead get rid of the base color altogether, only keep these tiles. You will see why in a minute. Now, again, we have another layer that's likely doing multiply, and we can click on it and check that, and incorrect, this is just a normal layer. As you can see, this is mostly what the brick texture is, so what I'm going to do is delete everything underneath, because you're not going to see it normally. We don't need to use any of these other layers, because we have everything we need to assemble the finished texture with just these. Now, using the same method I did before, I've file opened. As you can see, we have our previous tab here. I've opened a screenshot of the block I'm trying to color in or make BDcraft, so I could just sample the colors and use it here. So, going forward, this is what you're going to have to do if you want to, of course, use these colors on your BDcraft. First, what you're going to do is scoot this over here so you can see our tools again. These are our basic tools. Since you are just, using a template, you don't have to worry about a majority of these. What you will want to worry about is this one, the eyedropper. You go over a color, you can zoom in over here or hold Control and scroll in. You can click on a color you think is good. Now, I think purple will make a great background color for these bricks. I'll move back over and I'll find the background and I'll recolor it. Now, there's a couple ways to do this, but with a background like this, simplest thing to do is up here. This is your square rectangle select tool. Highlight everything by clicking and dragging, and then press Edit, Fill Selection, and that will fill it with your color. Now, remember how I said, these multiply layers get annoying for these? We can just switch them to normal layers. What I did right there was I hovered over the text box, and since I know it's above, I scrolled up. And that's what you're going to do for all of these. Just scroll up. Easily dealt with. Now we've got these, tiles here that we need to worry about. It's the same process as last time almost. You grab it with the eyedropper tool. But this time what we're going to do is use a new tool, the recolor tool. And this is going to be the key to making the most of these templates. With the recolor tool, all you have to do is make the brush big, make sure you've clicked the right layer, make sure your tolerance is high, and your hardness is high as well. You can just click and drag like a brush, swipe it, and just do it all over again. Of course, when I use this texture, I'm likely going to make more edits than just a recolor of the template. But that pretty much fulfills what you'll want to do with it. Now, obviously, I believe that it should be more complicated since these bricks seem to be lighter. What I'm going to do is grab these two bricks, color, which is this lighter version, take out my recolor tool again, find the two bricks, We grabbed the wrong one. And just recolor it. There you have it. Using a template is about as simple as doing all that. And once you're done, assuming there's no blemishes, because you accidentally clicked off like I did, I pressed Ctrl Z there to undo. It's the same as just going up your history. I will finish coloring that this time. And once you've got this done, what you can do is press File, Save As. You want to save it as a PDN first. That or a PSD, though I think it would be preferable if you do a PDN. Save it as a PDN, you can save all these layers, so if you ever need to edit it again, you can open it up and you can reorganize the layers or recolor them as needed. Perhaps you want to adjust it. And then to use it in Minecraft, you want to save it as a PNG, and we'll do the same thing here. It will ask you to flatten, press flatten. As you can see, everything is gone. This is the reason we saved the PDN or the PSD first. That way we can more easily access the layers again by opening the PSD or PDN file. Finally, now that you've finished your template texture, you can officially apply for the Neophyte Contributor role. To do this, what you'll have to do is, as the channel describes, you will drag your PNG and PDN files into the channel and ping a moderator, as well as saying, I would like to apply for the Neophyte role. Once you have done that, a moderator will go through your texture and, of course, your attachment for the layers, and they will verify whether you're worthy of the role based on the quality of your work. Additionally, assuming you already have the role, or you just want to submit the texture and not get a role for some reason, the submission channel is what you should go to next whenever you finish a texture, whether it's template or not. All you have to do here is drag in your PNG file. Along with that, you should list what block this is for, and how you want to be credited on the pet resource pack. And with that, you are finished and you've submitted your first texture to BDCraft. I look forward to seeing everyone's submissions and hope to see the pack completed within the next 2-3 years. Probably going to be sooner than that because you guys love art. Anyway, have a good day. This has been Kroot.